Alright my friends, I hope all of you are doing great. So today in this video we're gonna understand how the light and the shadow works. And before starting the video, there are some stuff that you have to understand. And the number one stuff is about the values. The values are just of two types. Number one, the light values, and number two, the dark values. The light values are these, which are used to set the lights, and the dark values are these, which are used to set the shadows. That's it that you have to understand. These are the two values that you have to use to set anything that you want to set, from the shapes, from the objects, from the face, anything else. Now the number two thing that you have to understand is about the light source. And I will highly recommend, whenever you do some sort of shading, you must ask a question to yourself: how is my light source? Is my light source strong, or is my light source soft? Now what happens is, if my light source is strong, my shadow will be also strong. So for an example, this is like a shape. I've taken a sphere, or you can say a circle. Now if if my light source is strong, my shadow will be also strong. For example, in this reference that I have drawn, this reference, the light source is soft. That's why you are saying a soft shadow. So you have to understand these two stuff. Number one, the values that is used to set, and number two is the light source. Okay, now let's understand it with more a practical example. So see, I've also selected my light source, which is strong, and it's coming from this direction. So it's coming from this direction means the cast shadow will be over here. So now I'm gonna take a round brush. I'm gonna choose my light value, and now see, whenever light hits on an object, it creates a shadow. See, now the light is hitting on an object, so when it hits on an object, it creates a shadow, but it creates three types of shadow. That's the very interesting part. Now let me explain you. The first shadow that it will create will be, let me select the orange color so it will be more contrasty. So whenever a light hits an object, it creates three types of shadows. The number one, the core shadow. The core shadow is the dead shadow that is attached to an object, this one. And number two, the cast shadow. A cast shadow is that shadow that is casted on the surface. So let me draw a cast shadow for this. So I'm gonna use the same value for the cast shadow. Let me select this is the cast shadow. Okay, so this is a cast shadow. And number three shadow is called occlusion shadow. Occlusion shadow is the dead shadow where the light cannot pass, and that is this area. See, the light can come from here and it can reflect here, but it cannot go here. It cannot go under this area. So that area is called occlusion shadow. And for that, what we will do is we will choose this dark value that I have selected, and I will go one step down. I will go one step down, and I will get my occlusion shadow, and I will use a soft brush for this. Now see. And what also it does, it separates your core shadow and a cast shadow. See, now we are able to differentiate between the core and cast shadow. So that's all about shadows. I hope you understand in very simple way. I tried my best. Now let's understand the halftones. A halftone is just little bit darker than your halftone. It belongs to the light family. Now why we draw the halftones? To create a smooth transition between the shadows and a light. Yeah, for that we draw the halftone. That's it. Now the things come, that is the reflection light. Now reflection light depends on the surface. If your surface is bright, like in this example my surface is bright, so what happens is the light will hit on surface and it bounce back, and again. So same happens over here also. So the light hits the surface and it bounces back. But if the surface is pitch black or dark, means there will be any kind of reflection. So I hope that makes clear to you. So but in this situation there is a like a bright surface, so there will be a reflection. So again there's a magic. What you can do is you can go just select your like dark value that you have selected for your shadows and just go a little bit brighter. That will be your reflected light. And for this also I'm gonna use a soft round brush, so that will make the process more easy and fun. And I'm gonna just glaze very lightly from the areas where it will get reflect. It will be that area and a little bit over here. So that's it. Now the last thing that only now remains is to add a highlight and do a smudging. So now the highlight will be just a one step brighter than your light value. Again, see, you can just start with the two values and you can just go one step down, one step up to find all the other things. See, highlights. That's it. Now the only one thing is remain, that is to do a smudging. Now I will take my smudging brush, a blending brush, and I will do a smudging. I will smudge the half tones and lights. Then if you see, the most of the people say we also have to draw a darker lines in the middle, which is called as a terminator. But if there is a reflected light, then only there will be a terminator. See, now the reflection light and the half tone is creating that terminator, the darker lines in the middle. See, so never ever be confused. So means if there is no reflection light, there will be no terminator. If there is a reflection light, means there will be a terminator, the dark line in the middle. So see, we done some smudging and now it's done. See, we just started with our light values and dark values. So yeah, that's all the process. There's no need to make a confusion with a lot of values. Just start with the two, simplify it as much as you can, and that's how I want to. And if you feel that our light is not much that like light, you can go again and you can make it a little bit lighter. Yeah, you can simply play with that and do a smudging. See, now it turns, the half tone is also much more visible. And you think you want to draw a little bit more dark, you can select your shadow area and you can go with now round brush, because now you have softened all the stuff, and you can go with little bit darker. OMG, like this stuff. If it's too much, you can just do on your own too. I think here I can add a little bit. Okay, that's very interesting, and I can do a little bit of smudging out here. Okay, now I can add a highlight with my pure white. So yeah, that's how. So now I hope you understand how the light and shadow works. That's all the stuff that I want to explain you, and I will highly recommend to practice also with other shapes like with cube, cylinders and cones, or the combination of this shape. Because if you see, because notice that all the things that you are trying to draw are all made of these 3D shapes, and if you master these 3D shapes to how to do a shade, you will be able to shade anything. So it gives you a freedom. So that's all in this video. I hope you enjoyed. If you have some doubts and queries, let me know in the comments, and watch this video. That's it. Keep drawing. Bye.